Now, if you're someone who's thinking about getting started in business or someone who's been in business for a while, here's 3 tips that will help you eliminate at least a lot of the headaches that you're going to find yourself doing. Some of the things that us entrepreneurs have been doing this for 20 years find ourselves avoiding to do these, avoiding to make mistakes, because we need to make sure that we're doing something that is going to be around for a while. So let's dive right into it. My name is Domingo Solis. I'm founder of Scale It Up and the Stimulus Summit. And I'm excited to bring this to you because after 20 years of being an entrepreneur, I really am trying to bring out tips or some bit of knowledge or experience that can help entrepreneurs today, no matter what you want to do. If you want to be a speaker, you want to be an author, you want to build a brick and mortar business, or if you want to do something online. There are some things that we sometimes go after the wrong things as an opportunity and find ourselves later regretting it. So let's dive into these 3 tips. Number 1, solve a burning problem. What do I mean by that? Make sure that there is a need out there. One of the things is that it's very difficult to be able to create something that's original. It's because you have to then create the need and bring awareness and put it out there. So if you can find something that is a definite burning problem, that you see something that's pretty obvious, something that that people can utilize immediately. This is something that somebody can definitely not only use today, but use in the long term. Now, during this whole interesting time with the pandemic, things have changed, right? There might be ways for you to improve on something that's existing, something that you see that is already out there, but with your special touch or your expertise, you're able to go out there and really make it better and improve on it. And that's okay, because there's some things that you can do that others can't, right? You want to make sure that you go out there and create something that, I always tell people, if you see a need for it, make sure it's just not one person. Make sure that you see who the need for and design the product for them. You can modify it, create your MVP, your minimal viable product. Make sure that the audience out there is connecting with the product, and make sure that before you go into mass production, that you've tested that you have the correct market, you see the problem, and you're bringing a solution to the table. It's definitely a lot easier than to go out there and try to figure out what a problem is, what a solution is, and see if anybody will like it. A lot of times we go down that rabbit hole, and let me tell you, it's very hard to come back out of it. Now, number 2 of the 3, I will share with you that after understanding what the problem is, choose the right niche. Lead with passion is what I say when it comes to that. It's great to see an opportunity that you see that somebody needs, but if you're not passionate about it, if you have no experience, no knowledge in it, and you're seeing it as a quick buck, it sometimes doesn't work out the best for you. And maybe it doesn't work out best for the people who end up buying the product. They buy the product, and how you support them in the long term if it's not something you're passionate about. Making sure we live in a world today where 2020 has opened our eyes to many things. But one thing for sure is that a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs are being put into a position where they have to go out there and determine what they want to do. Maybe switch in their business, maybe get out of corporate and go and creating their own business, or understanding that right now what they were doing was not something they were passionate about. It's something that they really didn't, it didn't drive them. It wasn't something they woke up every single day for. And choosing the right niche is definitely the key, because once you've gotten passion behind it and you've chosen a niche that you want to go after, you'll wake up every single day saying, I can't wait for this. I know what I'm going to go out there and solve the problem for somebody. So you want to make sure that not only are you solving a burning problem when, obviously tip number 1, but make sure you choose the right niche that you're in. So sit back for a moment. If you're in a business already, this might be something that you might want to consider. If you're just getting started, if you're just becoming a speaker, author, coach, consultant, it's a lot easier to share a lot about your passion and get out there on the spot than to, try to educate somebody on something that you're offering that you're not quite passionate, because we are in a world where everyone's more visual, right? We are more in a modern world where we're doing a bunch of Zooms and we're doing face-to-face. So the expression of doing something uncomfortable really comes through when it comes to talking to your potential client, talking to your future clients, talking to partners, manufacturers, and so on. So make sure that you choose the right niche and make sure that you're passionate about it. That was number 2. Now, number 1, I think sums it all up pretty much. Build something for longevity. There is something to say about making a quick buck. Now, in today's world, you can quickly make money. There's no reason why an individual can't find something they're passionate about, pick a niche and go out there and generate multiple 6 figures a year. But the longevity of it is what most entrepreneurs miss the fact on. It's one thing to solve a problem today, but you really need to be thinking about the future as well. How does your product need to evolve over time? How do your customers need to be taken care of? How does the problem that you're solving going to change over the next couple months? Because that's what happened just recently, 6 months ago, when people were used to one business model and automatically were changed to go to a virtual world, and people had to adapt. And a lot of companies, unfortunately, that didn't adapt, that didn't see potential problems that were going to happen in the future, are no longer around. We're seeing that today as companies are being shut down. And of course, there's a lot of variables for that whole bit, but I'll tell you that if you can consider the time that you've experienced this last 6 months should be a lesson to think about how your business right now needs to become recession proof, how it needs to become pandemic proof, how you need to be able to change or modify your business in a way that allows you to adapt. I was talking to a good friend yesterday who actually put a business aside 2 years ago, didn't see it really building, and was wondering if there was ever going to be a need for it. Well, guess what? 6 months ago, pandemic hits, and now there's his existing business he had before that is no longer a need. The one he was going to put set aside 2 years ago is, and that one has tripled or 10 times growth since then, and the other one hasn't. So don't necessarily discard things where you don't think there's a need for it. We are spread so thin as entrepreneurs. We find ourselves going out there and possibly doing 4 or 5 things. And if you're not used to being in front and focused, if that's a very difficult thing, if that's a habit or something that you need to build on about being focused, then just focus on that one thing. Just focus on that one product. Don't do 5 things. Even us serial entrepreneurs have been around, built 6 businesses to 7 figures, 8-figure exit, have interviewing some of the most amazing people on the Stimulus Summit, entrepreneurs from global, from Alex Stern, the co-founder of Constant Contact, taking it to $1 billion, to Forbes Riley, selling $2.5 billion on TV. As I speak to these amazing entrepreneurs and global leaders, you start hearing the stories, but you start hearing and seeing really what the global leaders out there have done. And the main focus, they'll tell you, is about focus. It's about staying focused. If you do too many things, you'll never master one thing. So I definitely recommend that. So if I had to just recap these 3, and hopefully one of them will actually help solve a problem for you, is 1, solve a burning problem. Remember, go out there where there's a need and serve those individuals. 2, choose the right niche. Make sure that as you're serving, it's something that you're passionate about, that you really want to do and you see yourself doing the rest of your life. Not something that you're going to regret waking up every morning and not wanting to do because you're not passionate about it. And 3, think about the longevity aspect of it for you that helps build a business that can grow to potentially $1 billion, but also has a longevity of serving your clients for a very long time. Because you'd be surprised, if you serve people the right way, they will stay loyal to you for a very long time. So if you like these tips and you like more of this, make sure you like and comment down below, click subscribe. My goal is to bring you expertise, knowledge, interviews from some of the most amazing global leaders around there, from my experience as well, being an entrepreneur for 20 years and going out there and trying, if not succeeding, on creating a successful business. So go out there, do everything you can, stay focused, and I'm sure success is right around the corner for you. Thank you very much for tuning in.